Food is an essential substance that allows us to survive and enjoy life, but it is also something that we can take great pleasure in. From spicy to sour or sweet to bitter, food has endless possibilities. There are some people who dedicate their entire lives to not only obtaining the rarest and most delicious ingredients, but also to create magnificent and delicious dishes using set ingredients. These individuals are known as gourmet. What? What do you mean I'm not talking about Toriko today? Because I haven't read it yet. Oh, that's a good point. But what other awesome related manga series I'm gonna talk about? Food Wars? Sounds awesome! So in today's Ink Shelf, Shokugeki no Soma, or in the English release, Food Wars. So for those of you who don't know, Inkshelf is my series of videos where I catch up or read all of the manga series and give my thoughts and opinions on them. So Shokugeki no Soma is a school comedy ecchi manga which started its serialization back in November of 2012. It currently has 133 chapters and 14 volumes available for native purchase. The story is being written by Yuto Tsukada, while Shun Saiki is in charge of the artwork. The series starts in a pretty average Japanese restaurant named Restaurant Yukihira, where a cook-off takes place between a father and son duo, with the father emerging as the victor. The son of this duo is our titular character, Yukihira Soma. Because of his loss, Soma insists that his friend tastes a new recipe of his, and, well, let's just say tentacles. After that ordeal, Summer's restaurant gets a visit from an urban life planner who wants to build an apartment complex on the land the restaurant is situated on. However, Soma sends them away only to find his restaurant completely vandalized the next morning. The planner returns and challenges Soma to make her the most delicious, tender, juicy meat dish, which he confidently accepts and succeeds with flying clothes. I mean colors, not clothes, colors. The following day while cleaning, Soma hears from his father that he's going to close their restaurant for a couple of years and tells Soma to improve his skills by going to Totsuki Academy, one of the best culinary schools in the world. This academy is where Soma meets his friends and rivals, and the series basically becomes a sports manga, only with cooking. I say that Shokugeki no Soma is like the sports manga because of its tournament style of story. Instead of using physical activities, they cook stuff, and not just Japanese cuisine. Oh no, we're talking about French, Chinese, Italian, Indian, and all different kinds of other dishes, which are made with many different kinds of techniques. All of this wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for Yuki Murasaki, a professional chef who's also a model, who contributes to the creation of this series by providing actual recipes and descriptions about the different dishes. This is something I find rather unique about this series. Hell, in the full volume releases, they actually include the recipes step by step so that you can easily recreate them. But you can't have a sports-like series without some interesting characters to root for. There's an abundance of great characters in the series. However, considering the size of the cast, I'm only going to mention a few of the main characters, starting with the obvious, our protagonist, Yukihira Soma. Soma starts off as a very generic shonen-like main character, winning battle after battle, and only really seems like his personality is, I'm good at cooking. That is until he experiences his first defeat. Then he starts developing to be a much more interesting and well-developed character, while still retaining some of his more silly characteristics he had at the beginning of the series. But you can't have a sports-like series without a rival, and this is where Nakiri Erina comes to play. Except she's such a bad rival that plenty of the other characters in this series are much better rivals than her. It doesn't help that Erina is a tsundere. Now, there are some good tsunderes out there, but Eren isn't one of them. Considering recent events in the manga, however, there is potential that she may actually turn out to be a much more interesting and likable character. As it stands right now, she's neither of those things. And the last one I will mention is Soma's Sport, Tadokoro Megumi. At the start, she comes across as very timid and nervous, only to later reveal that she's actually a pretty good chef. And thanks to all her interactions with Soma, she also develops from a kind of cliche character type into a much more confident chef who will give her all in creating the best possible dish she can. This character development was something I found very nice to see. Next up is the art, and I'm going to have to apologize for what's about to happen. Oh my god, the artwork is so good! So yeah, the artwork is pretty dang amazing. The characters, the food, the cooking, and these imaginative panels that give form to how a cook-off feels for the characters involved. And don't get me even started on the full color chapters because Shokugeki no Soma is one of, if not the only weekly series that releases chapters which are in full color. For a nice change of pace, the color not only brings out the full greatness of the artwork, but also adds to the quality of the artwork. It can make simple panels a lot more interesting by the addition of color. All this amazing artwork is coming from a hentai artist. Yes, you heard me right. Saiki Shun, the artist for this series, originally drew hentai manga under the name Tosh. I'm not making this up. I mean, just look at one of his most popular works, Harem Time. The art looks very similar, doesn't it? But it does explain why the beginning of Soma was very edgy filled when it came to the foodgasm scenes in particular. To wrap up, Shokugeki no Soma is a great cooking manga that takes the concept of cooking and puts a sports manga spin to it. This creates a very exciting filled series with so many interesting characters and moments that it just makes you crave for more of it, while also having one of the best art styles from any current running weekly series that I'm reading. And this is why I give Shokugeki no Soma my recommendation to buy it. It's a great series that's brought to us by a very unique team of three, and it's definitely worth the purchase. Shokugeki no Soma is available to buy from Viz Media under its English name Food Wars, of which there are currently 7 volumes available.